Before I started this business, I spent far too long suffering in anticipation of starting it, when in reality, there was only a few things that I needed to do to actually get going. And today I'm going to share those things with you in the hope that it helps speed up your journey and get you to where you want to be faster. All of the content today has been inspired by fantastic comments that all of you have left on my YouTube videos, my Facebook posts, and the other social media channels. So thank you so much for taking the time to leave those comments, thoughts and ideas and questions. And maybe today is going to give you more questions. It probably will. So leave those in the comments below. I love to hear it, and it helps me shape the future videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to split this video into two parts. The first part is going to cover the administrative side of getting the business started, and then the second part is going to cover the operations side of getting it started. And fundamentally, what I'm trying to do here is cover the MVP, if you like, the minimum viable product. What do you need to do at the bare minimum to get going? There are lots of things you can do, but only very few that you must do. And that's what I'm going to cover today. So, first question, what licenses and permissions do you need to launch your food business in the UK? It's simpler than you imagine, at least for a coffee business. If you're going to sell shellfish and you want to mail that to people in the post, I imagine the bar is going to be pretty high in terms of standards that you must adhere to. But for coffee roasting, and I imagine lots of similar low-risk food items, it's actually pretty straightforward. The first thing that you're going to need to do is register as a food business. And you're meant to do that at least 28 days before you intend to start trading. And you do that with the Food Standards Agency by going to food.gov.uk. I'll link it all down below in the description. You'll have to fill out an online questionnaire. It's pretty straightforward about what you're going to be selling, where you're going to be selling it from, your personal details and so on. You submit it, and then sometime in the future, a week or so, you'll get contacted by your EHO, your Environmental Health Officer, and they are there to support you. And my best recommendation is make a friend of your EHO as soon as you possibly can and use them for what they're meant to do, which is help you run your business safely. The EHO will come and visit you at your premises at an agreed time once you've started trading, and they're going to carry out a health and safety assessment. And they'll do that with you, and they'll provide coaching as they go along. So they may find things that you need to rectify, and that's okay, just as long as you do it. The biggest thing that they're going to be looking for is that you have your HACCP in place. That's your hazards and critical control points. As a food business, you're preparing something that ultimately someone is going to consume. And there are risks associated with that. So for coffee, for example, we receive green beans from a farm in a big Hessian sack, and there's a chance that those beans are contaminated with things from the farm, or maybe even bits of packaging like the Hessian or fabric that they're stored in. So at different points of the food production cycle, we have critical control points where we can intervene and spot where there might be an issue arising or a contaminant or something like this, and then take an action to remediate that and get rid of it. So with our green beans, for example, when we put them into the hopper behind us, we have to weigh them out. And when we weigh them out, we have a critical point there where we can carry out a visual inspection on the beans and make sure that there are no visible contaminants. Now for coffee roasting in particular, it's fairly low risk. We're going to heat those beans to over 200 degrees in a roaster, and that's going to incinerate a lot of organic material. There might still be some stones or something like that left in the beans, but we have multiple control points established once the beans have been roasted to eliminate those, such as when they're in the cooling tray, when we weigh them back out into the buckets that they're briefly stored in, and then when we come to package them, and then even in some cases when we come to grind them. If that sounds complicated, it's not half as bad as you imagine. All you need to do is go to the Food Standards Agency and follow their online template for creating your own HACCP. Or you can work with your EHO to find the key things that you might need to look out for. That's what they're there for, so make sure you use them. The next thing you're going to need to do is get insurance. And this comes in two forms: business insurance And if you're intending to run your food business from your house, then you're going to need to contact your home insurer as well. When you contact home insurance, all you're doing is letting them know that you intend to run a business from your house, and they'll probably adjust your premium and increase the cost a little bit to compensate for that. And there will be some conditions that go with it. I imagine that's going to vary from every insurer that you try. We went through them all on the phone with the insurer and ensured that we were meeting them, ensured that we were meeting the insurer's conditions. For the business insurance, we used a broker to get our business insurance, and most importantly with the business insurance, we also took out public liability insurance. So when we go to events like markets and fairs, then that covers us if the tent stall blows over and hurts somebody or something like that. We used a broker for the business insurance, and that really helped us to go through all of the things that we might need and explain it to us. So again, it's just a phone call. You use the resources that are made available through the EHO, the insurance brokers who are incentivized to get you onto a policy successfully. Ask them the questions that you have, let them take you through their process, and they'll help you each step of the way. That's what they're there for. So that's 3 things in total. Go to the Food Standards Agency, register as a food business at least 28 days before you begin trading. Speak to your EHO, complete your HACCP, and set your business up for success. And then third, speak to your insurers. If you're running your business at home, speak to your home insurance, and wherever you're running your business, get business insurance. In terms of the operations side of this, I made a list that you're going to need. First, you're going to need a roaster of some variety. I've already done a video about the cormorant roaster that we started on, so go and check that out if you've not seen it yet. But to summarize, I would set aside £1,000 to £2,000 on buying a smaller home roaster or a sample roaster to get going. This is not big enough or suitable to do a huge wholesale business, but it's definitely enough to learn how to roast and to start selling coffee to friends, family, or local markets. And that's where we started. So £1,000 to £2,000 for that, much less if you're going to buy used. And there are plenty of used roasters out there, so it's your choice. You're going to need a weighing scales. So we use these, which are a Brecknell weighing scales. Pro tip is if you're looking for equipment for your business, then head over to Nisbets. I'll link that below as well. It's a great business for commercial trade and for food trade specifically, and you can pick up all this stuff. But those Brecknell scales can go for quite a lot brand new. You might be able to find them used from other businesses. Ours is a 6 kilo. It goes high up the scale to 150 kilos, I think, and they're big floor scales, but we started with a 6 kilo one, and I think they're about £100 brand new. Next, you're going to need some kind of packaging. You can make this as complicated as you like, but if you want to keep it as simple as possible, go to Amazon, buy some craft food pouches. I'll link all this below. Get yourself a sealer, which is to seal the bags, melt them closed. You can get a stamp or like a sticker sheet, a blank sticker sheet that you can print on. You can get that from a stationer's or Amazon again. And you can make your own labels, your own stickers, and you can seal it all at home for pretty low cost. And altogether that cost us £122. Crucially, you're going to need to get some kind of raw ingredient that you're going to cook or produce or whatever you're going to do with it. For us, of course, it's green coffee beans. In my other video, I explained where we sourced ours from in the early stages, but go get yourself your raw ingredient from wherever it is. For us, I bought when I first started, I bought 2 kilos of green beans, and I bought Scott Rowe's How to Roast book to enhance my skills. And in total, that came to £75 and 68 pence. Optionally, as the last one, you can go and get some training. I think it's a good idea if you've got the budget and you want to go that little bit extra further. I was already roasting my own coffee before I launched the business, but I still went and I took a course, and I really enjoyed it. It taught me an awful lot, and there's plenty of courses out there for coffee roasting, across the nation. You can go right to the extreme and get yourself an SCA, Specialty Coffee Association accredited roasting course, a bit more expensive, a bit more intense and academic, or you can go a little bit more casual and get a non-accredited, but still very valuable, of course, coffee roasting course. And I went for the latter option because the school that I found were doing courses on the same machine that we now use. And I really wanted to see a coffee roaster in full swing and action and understand how they're running the business as well, not just the coffee roasting, which I was already doing anyway. And in total, it was £585 for the course, and that was over 2 days. And then I spent about another £400 on travel and accommodation. One of the unlucky things for me is I live in the North York Moors on the northeast coast of England. The course I took was all the way down in the south. So might be cheaper for you depending on where you live, but don't forget about the travel expenses because they're always more expensive than you would hope. So in total, roaster of some variety, new or used, get some decent weighing scales that won't let you down, packaging, labels, stickers, a sealer, custom stamp, green beans, and some training optionally. All in, for us, it was just under £3,500 to get the business going. So that's it. That's everything that we needed to get going with our coffee roasting business. I don't think it's half as complicated as we imagine it is in our minds. And the reality is that you just take one step at a time. I think from deciding that we really wanted to do this and then launching was under 4 weeks. So I registered with a food agency and I just kept asking everyone that I spoke to, what next, what next, what next? And oftentimes, a lot of these people, the EHO and the broker for the business insurance, they gave me great tips and advice from all the other people that they speak to doing similar things. So don't be afraid to ask for help, I guess would be my parting tip. And I'm here as well. This is why I started the channel, to help you get going with whatever it is that you have an ambition to achieve. So if you've liked it, please let me know. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you want to keep hearing more of this. And yeah, leave us a comment. What questions has this added in your mind? What didn't I answer? Let me know and I'll answer as best I can in the comments. All right, until next time. Thank you.